Okay, the last thing that I talked about was the spirit and how it reflected through man. I talked about both angel and demonic spirits. Lastly, I closed out with what it took to destroy a people, that you'd have to destroy their faith. Today I'm going to be talking about the Lord's Word. Well, and I actually briefly touched on the Holy Spirit of divinity too, because that's what I'll be starting with today. But it ties into the Lord's work. As you can see, my last video, today is 12/13/17. I did the last video 12/2/17. And this just gives you an idea of how bad their attacks are. And I'll go into that a little bit more later on so that it makes more sense, because that's a pretty broad statement to leave you with. But that little quote up there, her head is burning up, will make much more sense once I get into the type of attacks that these people do. So the Holy Spirit of divinity. What is the Holy Spirit of divinity? It's predestined individuals. Those that were reincarnated here to pretty much carry out a mission, evoke some type of change, and pretty much serve or help out humanity. Characteristics of those type of people. They normally don't identify with a religious preference, so they're spiritual people. They believe in being connected and believe that we're all connected. So that means those type of people likely have people from all types of walks of life. Healthy and stable relationships, high vibrations, and magnetic healers. And real quick, I want to highlight magnetic healers because that ties into one of the enemy's attacks that I'm going to go into later on. But self-love. These people are grounded in self-love, which creates a balance. They're very balanced people because it takes a balanced individual to care for others without neglecting themselves and managing to put themselves first. That's a big deal. Over here we have gifted. People that are gifted. We have high priest, saints, talisman, prophets, ET, extraterrestrial beings, palm readers, psychics, Reiki practitioners, etc. These people, all of these folks, are connected to the spirit world. They're all connected to the spirit world. Now, what makes them different from someone that possesses the Holy Spirit of divinity? Why aren't these people considered angels? Because they can't exist without their etheric body. They depend on emotions in a way. And depend is a bad word, but they need that emotional stability. If you take emotional stability out of the equation for someone like this, for someone like me, I'd still prosper. We just turn all the energy inward and still pretty much push forward with whatever the mission is. So etheric body, emotion, that's an influencer for these people. So having unstable relationships, anything of that nature, could definitely change the spirit of these men and women. Another thing is astral body, which is our organs. That's where most of our ailments and diseases manifest. That's where most of our ailments and diseases manifest. Angels heal themselves. So with all of the attacks that my physical body has been under, with them opening up my etheric and my astral body and attacking that aspect of matters, as you can see, I'm still healthy. I'm able to heal myself, but I'm also able to heal others. But when people are laying lots of spirits on you, you don't want to lay hands. You want to refrain from laying hands because I'm chipped. I have an RFID chip implant, and it's just their way of looking for, it's a way in. They're using me for a way into other people, so I cannot lay hands. So that's another thing. that sets these two individuals apart. Now, predestines. These are probably people that you thought were airheads, like all throughout high school, but they're always happy. You know, like they're always happy, good energy type of folks. When they connect with these people, these are kind of sort of, they're not their teachers, but they're definitely there for assistance. So once they start connecting with these people and, you know, digging in and searching inward, pretty much their gifts catapult. And then they start putting their, whatever their purpose is, into motion. So catapults once they connect with the gifted. Now, for someone like me that's under attack, it would be beneficial to man to take these people out of the equation. So they may take out a high priest. They may take out a prophet. They may take out an ET. They may target those people so that I don't have them to reference. But because everything happens in divine time, I'd still be okay. Because I know that I've learned enough to exist on my own. Now, give me one moment. Getting into man, the occult. Getting into the occult. What exactly is it? These are elite members of science. Man and hidden knowledge. That's all it is. Man and hidden knowledge. They're likely private citizens, but they can be anything and anyone. They pretty much have been reigning terror on everyone. You and I and our families, our ancestors, for 2,300 years, 2,300 plus years. And so if you date back that far, that's around the early 1700s, which is when the Catholic Church lost the battle with science, or between them and science. So once the Catholic Church lost the battle between them and science, they give me one moment. Between them and science, pretty much they lost dominion over the church. Well, not even dominion over the church, dominion over law. Once that took place, they lost dominion over law. And that was around the same time, 10, 15 years later maybe. That was around the same time that America started to establish law. Okay, what is their interest? A world not governed by church, a government of prostitution. But essentially that's just a world of prostitution, because as you can see, they're even targeting the lower tier. There's nothing too big or too small. It's all good, especially if you have something that they want. Okay, see and know all is another interest of theirs. They want to see and know all. Pretty much what they want to do is be able to maintain their influence on man and on law, which gives them complete control. Those three things give them complete control. Now, most would say, these are some pretty big interests. And you can't just obtain them easily. You're going to need some tools. What type of tools? Advanced technology. And I think I'm going to have to go into these. I'll probably have to go into these tools again individually, because there's a lot of information to give on all these subjects. But anyhow, advanced technology, cameras, cell phones and devices, which ties into this mind control ordeal. Experimental drugs, dream, the subconscious. Everyone has to sleep. Make sure you cover your sleep. Satellite, electromagnetic radiation, clones, RFID chip implants, telekinesis, positions of influence, secret locations, and law. Now, these are all their tools. I'm going to have to erase some of this stuff and get back into it. But the thought that I want to leave you with for this video is, what is a threat to this agenda? Powerful DNA combinations. People like me that not only possess the Holy Spirit of divinity, but I have the Eve gene. Most refer to it as one of the original Eves. It's called mitochondria. Mitochondria. It's a very powerful gene, full of energy. Full of energy. And when you put those two together, you get somebody like me. Okay, that's my closing for that video.